everyone. Welcome to A Course in Miracles 365 Awakening to Love. I'm your host, Tomás Garza, and we've got some special guests here. We've got Batman joining me, and this is a Lego poster on this side behind me here. I am traveling, and my wife Cindy and I are up in Oregon for my son's high school graduation, which was this past Saturday. So I'm on the road, and this is the room that I'm staying in. It's a kids' room. So we've got the Batman theme and the Lego theme today, along with A Course in Miracles, and a very wonderful, very poignant, and as you probably guessed, a deep and a hard-hitting topic. All right, so Batman is going to help me deliver this today. So I hope that everybody's doing well. I've been on the road here, and I will be on the road tomorrow. Wednesday, we'll be back home in Arizona for kind of the continuation of this live stream. We'll be picking up right where we left off with lesson 103 in the workbook for students, but that is in 2 days' time. Today, being Monday, I want to have a special focus. This is a theme if you have just joined this live stream. It's something that I've been doing for about the past 6 or 7 weeks here, and that's taking Monday and devoting it to a particular topic and talking about it from the standpoint of A Course in Miracles, talking about it from the standpoint of universal spirituality, which, as we all know, are one and the same. And if you're not familiar with that, well, then I invite you to continue to explore. This live stream has a lot of things in it for everyone. We've been doing this since January, and during that time, we've covered the first 102 lessons in a part of A Course in Miracles that's affectionately, depending on whom you ask, known as the Workbook for Students, which gives a series of daily ideas that we talk about, and then you go forth and you practice them. This is one of the beauties of this thought system, is it's a self-study course. So it gives you something to do. That is one of the things that has always impressed me about it and attracted me, quite frankly, to A Course in Miracles. The fact that it gives us something for us to work on. It's not about belief. So in that frame of mind, I want to talk about today's topic from the standpoint of A Course in Miracles, from this particular philosophy, from this particular thought system, because it does have some really interesting things to say. Now, the topic for today that I'm inspired to talk about is delay. Isn't that exciting? Yeah. Delay of what? Well, delay of the inevitable. We're talking about nothing less today than how we get in our own way as human beings of the inevitable. So the inevitable, by the way, is not the death of the physical body. It's not taxes. It's not going to the bathroom. It's not sleeping tonight. It's not your next meal. It's none of that. The inevitable is your own awakening. But that's it. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. And Batman agrees with me, by the way. And so do the Lego people. You can't see all the Lego people on the poster right here, but they're pretty cool. So what we're looking at is the inevitable is our own awakening. Call it enlightenment, call it ascension, call it whatever you're comfortable calling it. So when we delay, that's what we're delaying. When we waste time, when we waste years, decades even, of this valuable human life, that's what we're doing. We're getting in our own way. We're obstructing ourselves. We're delaying. And we're delaying the inevitable. So, why? Why do we do this? Well, I think number one, that as we all know, we sometimes get in our own way without meaning to. don't we? We run around and we obstruct ourselves, we obscure ourselves based on our habitual patterns of behavior. It's based on our conditioning that we've really had no choice in falling into. When we took this human lifetime, we were born into a particular society, wherever that is in the world that you're from. There are governing social and cultural mores and ideals that we're all subject to from a very young age. And we have our own families, our own parents. We went to schools in different parts of the world. So everyone's trying and succeeding. Actually, they don't really even have to try. They're inculcating their values into us. And we find as adults that spirituality is it's in large part about undoing all of that and moving beyond that. Now, if some of those cultural and social mores serve you, that's great. That's very good. And this is all about discernment. It's all about our ability, our innate ability to discern what helps and what doesn't help. And it's up to us to choose what's helpful. So it's about letting go of what does not serve us. Now, in A Course in Miracles, the Course talks a lot about delaying the inevitable and about choice. Therefore, because the Course talks about it, you guessed it, I talk about it on this live stream a lot. And if this is the first time that you've watched this, first of all, I welcome you. Thank you for joining me. And you're going to hear me say a lot that you have a choice. Now, it's not the choice that you might be thinking of when we go to the supermarket and we look at the produce aisle. There are 100 different kinds of fruits and vegetables to choose from. It's not that kind of choice. It is a choice between two things: love and fear. That's it. That's all. Spirituality literally does come down to that. It's part of the beauty of the situation where we find ourselves. Is you might think, well, okay, it's not very beautiful. I'm having all these physical ailments. I might be going through a breakup. My finances might not be where I want them to be. I'm kind of suffering here. Yeah, there are all kinds of things that get thrown at us, and you are where you are. But one of the beautiful things about all of this is the fact that we have free will. That should be really exciting to all of us, is that we have free will that has never been taken away from us. And we're told point blank in A Course in Miracles that we will never have that stripped from us. God is perfect love. The Holy Spirit, as the voice for God, is also perfect love. Same, yes. And perfect love is not going to take away our ability to choose. That would be coercive. That would be cruel and wrong and possibly vindictive and every other bad name that you can think of, wouldn't it? It's not going to happen. We're reassured of this over and over and over again in the Course, in many different places, that we have retained and always will retain our free will. So it is up to us what we choose to do with that. It literally is. It's 100% up to us what we choose to do with the time given us, really, the present moment. Do we have a choice of love or fear? Now, in delaying, we choose fear. So how does that look? How does that look? Well, we hide, for starters. I know a lot of people that are hiding. Part of traveling is seeing friends and family members who haven't really committed themselves to change. Do you know some of those in your world? Yeah, I think you do, because we all do. We all know people, whether they're in our immediate or extended family or not, or whether they're in our spouse's family. There are people in this world that choose the darkness, quite literally. They hide, they refuse the call. Course in Miracles tells us, and I agree, that everybody hears the call. That is the call to awaken, to choose love. Yeah. Everybody hears the call, but not everybody heeds that call quite clearly. And that's obvious from just looking around at the world. Not everybody heeds the call, even though everyone hears it. What's happening is we're choosing delay. We get nervous, yes, don't we? We become afraid, and it is more comfortable to stay where we are than to choose love and change. That has happened to me in various epochs of my life, various times where I was choosing to stay stuck and to stay still. And eventually I moved through that, because what happens, and I know that many of you can relate to this, is that the pain of staying stuck becomes greater than the discomfort of taking that next step of choosing love. And when that happens to us, we know that we have no choice but to choose love. And you go forward from there. But it can take a lot of us a long time. It can take a lot of us years or decades, or maybe even an entire human lifetime to get out of our own way. And we delay in different ways. We even use spirituality sometimes as a delay mechanism. We dabble. Take something like the workbook for students in A Course in Miracles. Say you're going to do it. You're going to try to do it this time. My silence should speak volumes on how I feel about the word try. Yeah. It is very disempowering on the spiritual path. One does not try to do something. One either does or does not. If you're a Star Wars fan, and I am, you'll remember Yoda saying, "Do or do not. There is no try." And I agree with that. So in a workbook for students, we see people who try to do it. Well, what does try consist of? Well, it depends on the person. Every time I have started a group or a live stream, I have had a lot of people say that they're interested in doing this lesson by lesson with me, which of course you don't have to do, but people say that they want to do this. I'm just using this as an example, and they stop after lesson 5 or 6. Why? They choose to go back to where they were. It's too inconvenient to do practice periods. It's too inconvenient to read a page and a half of text of Jesus explaining exactly how simple our salvation is. It's simple. It's simple. One simply shows up in the present moment and chooses love. And then in the next moment, we have a choice again, because our free will has beautifully and happily never been stripped of us and never will be. So we choose love yet again. And so, what are the real world consequences of delay? Well, depression, right? Sluggishness. And I don't mean just physical sluggishness, I mean mental and emotional sluggishness, low vibrational frequency, darkness, just emotionally dense, thick darkness, the kind that A Course in Miracles likens to a fog bank that appears imposing, yet when one formulates the decision to walk through it, you start walking, you might get uncomfortable, represented by the fact that it's a bank of clouds, it's wet, it's cold, you might get really, really wet in the process, but you keep going, and as you keep going, you discover this is just a bank of clouds. It's ephemeral. It's nothing. It's nothing. And you pass right through into the sunlight on the other side. This is an image that the Course uses in many different places. It's what life could be like for us if we make the choice. And why delay? This is the message of the Holy Spirit in A Course in Miracles. Why delay? There's no reason to delay. We have an opportunity right now in this precious lifetime to act, and to act right now. Use an analogy from Buddhism. The Buddha likened being reborn, and whether your own spiritual tradition is related to Buddhism or not, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you believe that we're reborn again and again until we get it right. Doesn't matter. The Buddha said that the odds of being reborn in a human lifetime with the ability to practice spirituality, right? He said, of course, to practice Dharma, as in the Buddha Dharma. Insert the word spirituality for your own practice. Your ability to have the freedom, the mental, emotional capacity, and the freedom to practice as you so choose, as suits you and resonates with you, is very precious indeed. In fact, the analogy that the Buddha used was that it is more likely that a turtle swimming alone in the ocean, in the vast ocean, will surface with its head through a raft, or you could modernly say a tire that's discarded. But it's more likely that a turtle will surface with its head coming through a tire or a life raft in one particular point in the vast ocean. That's more likely than the odds of you being reborn in this human lifetime with the ability to practice spirituality. Now, I studied Buddhism for a number of years, and that analogy always hit home for me because it impresses upon us an appreciation, first and foremost, for the gifts that we've been given, which we should be extremely grateful for. Should we not? We should, yes. And I hope that you may be. There's no point in delaying when we have everything that we need to accomplish the entire path right now. We can choose love right now, and we can choose it again and again. We can perform and I don't mean rote performance. I don't mean check off the box, hey, I meditated for 2 minutes today, kind of half-hearted performance. I mean, we can perform the actions that are necessary with a heart full of gratitude and love, and make progress on the spiritual path, whatever that looks like for you. If you're following the workbook in A Course in Miracles, it's showing up every day and doing your level best to practice the day's idea, to integrate it and embody it. This is what this is all about. It's less about doing everything by the letter and more about integrating it into your being. That's what spirituality is all about. So delaying it, in delaying it, in putting something down until tomorrow, we're just delaying it. We're causing ourselves more short-term suffering and perhaps long-term suffering. The longer you delay, the more you hear the call and the more you want to heed it. So let's all do that. And that's what Batman says. So let's take a quick look here. I'd like to take a quick peek and see who's tuning in here with me. Again, this is a live stream that I do every day. Now, I will not be here tomorrow. I'll be on an airplane headed back to Arizona, but I'm happy to pop in with you today. And if you have comments or questions about this or any other topic related to spirituality or A Course in Miracles in general, please do let me know here in the comment thread and give me a shout out here, and I will say hello to you. And Hope, hi, how are you? And good evening. Thank you for tuning in. Guys, Hope is joining us from England, from London. So welcome. Thank you for tuning in here. And this is something that I really, really welcome because this is a live stream. I'm always happy to interact here live in the comment thread with you. And if you're catching this on the replay, please feel welcome to leave your questions, leave your comments here in the comment thread, because I do check them from time to time throughout the day. Now, for those of you who are tuning into this live stream regularly, number one, thank you for all your shares, for your likes, the comments, the hearts. I really do appreciate that. And I'll be joining you again live on Wednesday, the 9th of June here. And then we'll just be continuing on with some really beautiful and uplifting ideas in the workbook for students. And I think that's what I want to close with here today, is just that I really hope that spirituality is uplifting for you. And yes, we have to take responsibility as grown-ups. Yeah, yes, we have to take responsibility for our own experience. The beauty of that is we have the ability to change that. If you don't like something, you can choose something different. You can. It may feel like you cannot, but you can. You can. And when you do, everything opens up in a beautiful, beautiful way. How do I know? Well, it has opened up that way for me, and it's opened up for many people. Maybe it's opened up that way for you as well. So thank you all for tuning in, and thank you so much. We'll fly back tomorrow, and I'll see you guys again on Wednesday. Thank you for the safe journey wishes. I appreciate that. And that's it. So on behalf of my companions here, whom you're going to see actually in a few weeks as I broadcast live again at the end of June from this very room, we'll be visiting again. On behalf of Batman and all the Lego team over here, thank you for tuning in today. This has been A Course in Miracles 365, Awakening to Love. Have a great rest of your day, guys, and I will see you